Hello blade fans, this old sword back with you. You may be aware, if you've been viewing the channel for a while or perusing the videos, is that I did a Hogue knife review on about 4 different blades, I think, back quite a while ago, maybe half a year or more ago. Because I like Hogue so much, and they're a USA product, 100% made in the US, of premium products with great engineering, design, and workmanship. And there you have it. And I have done reviews on a number of Hogues. I'd like to isolate this one because it's one of my favorites as far as an EDC knife goes. So to continue, and just made a quick battery swap there in the camera, so if you see a little jitter in the video, that's why. Want to continue by saying I'm going to do a review on this Hogue EX03. And I've got some specs for you, courtesy of Blade HQ. And what they say is, this is the Extreme series designed by Alan Elishewitz. The X stands for Extreme. It has a high glass content reinforced polymer handle with a 154 cm stonewashed blade. It is 8.875 inches long. There is a 3.5 inch version and a 4 inch version. I prefer large knives, and this is the 4 inch version. Has a cutting edge of 3.875. Has a blade thickness of 0.15. I believe that works out to 4 millimeter. Has a Rockwell hardness of 57 to 59. Tanto grind blade, flat grind, stonewash, handle length 4.875 inches. It's a right hand only clip, thumb stud, plunge lock locking mechanism, and it is a model number 34340. Everyday carry, Alan Elishewitz, the designer. The prolific Alan Elishewitz, who's designed for Benchmade, Hogue, and so many others. See if I can point out a few of the reasons why I enjoy this knife, appreciate this knife so much. One of them's got to be the locking mechanism. Easy open, easy close. And drum tight lock. I mean, no movement. There's your plunge lock. Gotta watch my fingers. Pressing the button, similar to an auto, will close it, except there's no spring. Most, if not all, of the EX series has that safety lock. If you choose to turn it into a virtual fixed blade, you just snap that forward and it doesn't wiggle or move on its own. So no danger of engaging it if you don't want to. It will not engage when the knife is closed. So it has no effect on the knife being closed, the opposite of the auto. And there you can see the beautiful high grind, flat grind Tanto with a blade out of 154 cm. The old school 154 cm, not the CPM 154, which is the powder metallurgy. The handle's amazing. It is as they say, a high glass filled polymer. You cannot get that to move with your fingers with any amount of firm pressure. Yet there's a certain amount of flex built into it, meaning it's not going to break, and I've seen people drive over these with trucks and not break them. There is no steel in the handle up until you get into the area of the pivot where you have steel reinforcements inside and for the locking mechanism and so forth. Otherwise, what makes this such a relatively light knife, and let's see if I gave you the weight. Yeah, it's 4.88 ounces. which for this size knife is light, let me tell you. Most of the weight is in the blade because you got a 4mm blade stock, double thumb studs, which is interesting because it's not a left-hand carry. Now you'll see that one of the modifications I made was to take off the what I deem to be rather ugly spoon clip. A lot of people do like it. It's like a big duckbill sort of a spoon clip that they put on here, and I subbed out a Pops Clips titanium black coated clip, which really makes this thing disappear in the pocket. You have very little sticking out. You notice they molded kind of a skull crusher glass breaker into the pommel. I don't know if it's hard enough to break glass. Probably is, because it is in itself glass. There's some glass involved in the construction. We have jimping up here that's relatively useful, a little rounded, a little smooth, but useful. You can put your thumb all the way down there. It's kind of a harpoon-shaped Tanto, which is very interesting. I believe one of the reviewers, Nothing Fancy, back a long time ago, said, you know, this is one of the most useful utilitarian Tantos there are. And I agree, because many of the Tantos won't do everyday carry chores. You know, they're too specialized. But we've got a nice edge on this. I think I've touched it up a few times on a ceramic. Nice cutting edge on the front part of the Tanto and a wicked secondary point. Everything nicely reinforced. And again, if you don't like the 4-inch version, there is the 3-inch version. Same knife, just scaled down. There is an option for switching the clip, which I forgot about. If you want to put it on the pivot, and the knife does come through with the clip on the pivot. Sorry, not a point down sort of carry person. Maybe the exception would be something like a Microtech SOCOM manual or auto. There you have your 8mm, I believe, pivot. Same on the other side. And let's take another look. Is this one solid piece? No, actually it's mated together. There is a seam there. I was going to say it's unibody construction, but it's not. You got enough of a slot there to wash out the mechanism should it get muddy or dirty. And let's see how it stacks up against the Benchmade Boost, which has been my EDC of late. It's a bigger knife even than the Boost, and the Boost is a pretty big blade. You see what perspective will do if we switch them around. Near the camera looks bigger, so I'll try to get the camera as close to being over the knife as I can, but not always possible, just the way things are set up here. Griptilian, significantly smaller. And a shorter blade. We're talking about roughly, what, 3.5 inches on a Griptilian. And even the big old Rat 1 is going to be a smaller blade. So you can see the scale there. It's a large knife, but very flat, very narrow. Did I give you the handle thickness? Let's check. They did not list the handle thickness. Let's do that real quick. In inches. Get it right about there. Slightly over a 1/2 inch. 0.53, 0.54. In that ballpark. The ergos of it are great. Finger fits in that indent there perfectly. There is this great pebbled traction that Hogue puts on their grips, similar to some of the gun grips. There's your lanyard hole. Right now it's blocked by the deep carry clip, so that may not be accessible with the configuration I have it in. But this traction, whatever they do, is just incredible. It doesn't abrade your skin, but it just hangs on. See that? Really nice pebbled finish. So ultimately it's a flat and non-contoured handle except for here. Just is great in the hand. I got room left over, room to spare. So a larger hand is going to just do fine with that as well as smaller hands. So this is the Hogue EX03 4-inch Tanto point. Many other configurations for this knife, and I think you'd enjoy it if you pick one up. I think they're only going for about $150 or so now, maybe even a little bit less if you get a good eBay sale. If you're interested, I'd say go for it. Hard to go wrong with Hogues. So if you like this video, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe. This Old Sword, signing out.